They say healing can happen where the hurt began. Cute idea. Sounds poetic. Looks great on a Pinterest quote board next to a photo of waves crashing. But let's be real. Sometimes the place you got hurt is the last place you should go back to. Your ex's apartment is not your healing space. The family group chat that ignores boundaries is not your safe space. And your old coping mechanisms didn't suddenly become character development. Sometimes going back doesn't heal you. It just re-triggers you. And you end up confusing familiar with safety again. They say go back to where it all started. Actually, no. Sometimes healing happens when you stop running in circles, trying to rewrite a story that was never yours to edit in the first place. I texted my ex to get closure. How'd that go? He told me I was too sensitive and asked if I still have his hoodie. So, not closure. No, just reopened the wound and now I'm cold. Because of the hoodie? Because of everything. Let's break this down. Because healing is real, but nostalgia is sneaky. And if you're not careful, you'll end up romanticizing your own damage just because it's what you're used to. So in this video, we're gonna walk through why going back feels so tempting, why it rarely works, and what healing actually looks like. Not in a quote, but in real life. And no, you don't have to figure it all out alone. I'll also tell you what helped me the most, including the online therapy platform that changed how I approached this whole thing. But for now, let's get into it. So why does going back feel so tempting? Going back feels tempting because it's what we know. And what we know feels safer than what we don't, even when what we know is chaos. You don't go back because it's good. You go back because it's familiar, because it gives your nervous system a sense of control, even if the environment is completely out of control. Sometimes we revisit old wounds, not because we think they'll heal, but because we're still trying to prove we deserved better than the way we were treated. And that's the real trap. It's not just, I miss them. It's, if I can get them to love me now, maybe I wasn't the problem back then. You're not going back to reconnect. You're going back to rewrite the story, to change the ending, to make it make sense. But here's the hard truth. You can't heal in a space that still needs you to stay broken in order to function. I just feel like if I talk to him one more time, I'll finally get closure. Closure is not a group project, but he said he's in a better place now. Great, let him be better somewhere else. He asked if I still had his hoodie. You need to block him and burn the hoodie. Going back can feel romantic. Like maybe this time they'll understand. Maybe this time your mom won't shut down when you express a boundary. Maybe this time your friend will actually listen instead of turning everything into a joke. But if nothing's changed but your hope, you're not going back to heal, you're going back to be chosen. Why does it rarely work? Here's the problem with going back to the place you got hurt. It often requires you to betray yourself to stay there. You downplay the past, you shrink your needs, you convince yourself it wasn't that bad, because maybe they've changed, and maybe they have, but have you? Because if healing means returning to a version of you that tolerated it the first time, then it's not healing. You're just lying to yourself better. And this is where people get stuck. They mistake forgiveness for access. They confuse moving on with moving back in. But healing doesn't mean going backward. It means letting go of the fantasy that your pain needs a permission slip to matter. I mean, it wasn't even that bad. You cried in a Trader Joe's freezer aisle for 30 minutes, and people were staring. Okay, but that was also because of inflation. You were holding tofu and whispering his name. Fair. Sometimes the most painful part of healing is accepting that the apology may never come, that the version of them who hurt you might not even know they did, and even if they do, they might not care. But that doesn't make your pain less real. It doesn't make you dramatic. It doesn't make you weak. It just makes you human. And healing is always human work. Because we're human, we bruise, we bleed, we carry things longer than we should, and sometimes we call that love. We're not built to bounce back like nothing happened. We're built to feel it, to learn from it, to slowly, painfully, and imperfectly heal. And the truth is, you might always be healing from something. That doesn't make you broken, it just makes you real. What does healing actually look like? Healing doesn't always look like forgiveness. It doesn't always look like reunion. Sometimes healing looks like not texting back, not showing up, not needing to explain why you left a space that kept hurting you. Sometimes healing is just silence, peace, grief without begging for someone else to witness it. And sometimes healing looks boring, like sitting with yourself, learning your own patterns, realizing how often your yes was really a please don't leave me. No closure, no apology, just choosing you, finally, on purpose. That's why for me, healing didn't come from going back. It came from going inward, from asking the hard questions, from writing things down I didn't want to say out loud, from learning what it actually means to care about myself in a way that isn't performative. One thing that really helped, a self-love workbook by Dr. Shayna Ali. And I'm not just saying that. It's simple, reflective, and not filled with fluff. Just honest prompts and space to sit with yourself, especially when you feel like you've forgotten how. If you're ready to stop performing healing and start practicing it, this book's a really good place to start. And when I needed more than a page could hold, I used online therapy because I didn't want to carry all of it alone. If you're in that place, maybe one of these can help you too. The links are in my description. They say healing can happen where the hurt began. But sometimes, going back is just another way of hoping someone else will finally give you the closure you didn't get the first time. Sometimes we don't want to heal. We just want it to not have happened. We want someone to admit they were wrong. We want to feel like the pain was worth something. But healing doesn't always give you a satisfying ending. It gives you yourself. It gives you your voice back, your peace, your ability to sit with your own story and finally tell the truth, even the parts you used to leave out. So, how's the healing going? I cried in my car, talked to my inner child, journaled about my trust issues, and then I ate a Hot Pocket. Wow, that's messy. That's healing. I thought healing meant yoga and smoothies. No, that's marketing. Healing isn't about going back to the beginning. It's about finally giving yourself the ending you didn't get. Just remember, healing might not look pretty. It might be quiet. It might be slow. It might be just you, a notebook, a therapist, a workbook, and a lot of evenings where you feel like you're starting over. But it's real, and it's yours, and that counts. So yeah, maybe healing can't happen where the hurt began. And honestly, that's okay, because you're not going back, you're going forward. And forward is where you find you. Now, I'm not just saying this channel is your safe space, but if you made it this far, saying yes to the subscribe button just might count as personal growth. Don't forget, subscriptions are my love language. I'll see you in the next one.